We all have a story to tell. What can you learn from other people's life experiences, both winning and learning? See, in sports, you win and you lose when the scoreboard hits zero. But in life, the clock is always ticking. So you might as well learn. Winning and learning, never losing. There's a recipe for success, and there's a recipe for repeating.
But with that, it's just what it comes with. So that's kind of the mindset I've always had. Whatever I do, it's not necessarily me doing it because I love it. It's something that I do believe in.
We'll be able to contribute. I want to talk about the process of life. I want to talk about life experiences. I want to talk about trusting the process. So I just want to do my part and give back to the community, give back to the youth, and hopefully it touches somebody's lives and motivates them. And that's really what it's all about. What's up, guys? Mark here, the real estate coach. Welcome to Chalk Talk, the Open Playbook of Life, episode 9. We are 9 weeks into this. We want to thank our sponsor. Can't remember their name. I think it's like Alternative Solar or something like that. We had Mr. Alternative Solar today, so he'll plug himself, I bet. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share anywhere on a podcast. You listen to podcasts, Apple Music, Spotify, things like that. Definitely check us out on YouTube. To my right, Coach Serta. How you doing, Coach?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Drinking some coffee?
I am.
Yeah, she drinks coffee in the gym all the time.
I'm a coffee person.
So, to my left, Mr. Self-Made, Coach Bailey over here. And then behind the camera, we got our guy, Elliot, with...
Where grinding never stops.
And I see you with the merchandise on today.
I did. Thank you so much.
It's a family show. Relax. And to my very far left here, Mr. Eric Allen. Man, I appreciate you joining us.
Yep.
You're with Alternative Solar.
Yes, sir.
You are Alternative Solar. You is
Alternative.
Alternative Solar. So we want to thank you, man. I've been trying to get you on the show for a while.
It's early.
Is it?
Trying to sleep in on Sundays.
Yeah, I feel you. So do we. So, man, how you doing?
Been good, man. Been good.
Been good?
Yeah.
Been a little bit of a rough week, huh, for us?
Yeah, rough week for pretty much all of us, yeah.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Alternative Solar, man.
The name kind of speaks for itself. I wanted to be an alternative, a different mindset. How I started, I just didn't fall in love with solar. Mm-hmm. I was an engineering science major in college. Played a little professional football. So when I was in Germany, I had a 12-page research paper on solar panels.
Okay.
So throughout that, I learned a lot about solar. Didn't really, like I said, never love solar like that, but I learned a lot about solar throughout that. I was still chasing the dream for a little bit. I went to the CFL little camp for a little bit and got cut. So I had to find a job. I was tired of being selfish, chasing the dream. I had a little boy, just one at that time. So I went on Indeed, looked for job postings, and I saw solar panels, $18 an hour. It's like, that's a good deal. Let me do it. Maybe it's something that what I've learned, I can utilize it. And it ended up being a sales job. So my dad did sales his whole life. I didn't know it came natural to me. So I ended up being good at it, worked for this company for maybe 3 months. And, I really couldn't stand, what they were doing. They were ripping customers off, lying about things, and it messed up my reputation as, at that time, just a salesman, So, I had a partner at the time. We decided to start the Alternative Solar, and it was an alternative to that company. What makes Alternative Solar different is we're diverse. Hey, if you need a new roof, you can do that. If you need an HVAC system, we can take care of that. If you don't like the numbers, we're going to work with you. I wanted to be able to give people options rather than just tell them, here's what you get, take it or leave it.
Okay.
So that's how I created Alternative Solar. And the big thing about it is I didn't love it, but I believed in it. So that was the biggest reason why I'm so passionate about it, because I believe in it, not just because I love it and I've always wanted to sell solar panels. No, I believe in what it is, and I love helping people, and just the feeling when people get excited about, how much they're saving. It's just something that I really like.
All right. You said a couple things in there: reputation, sales job things. Sales world is a tough
Yeah.
industry. You know, I've door to door knocked water softeners before, and that's a real sales job. It's like that's a pain.
Yeah.
So why was your reputation so important in the fact that it wasn't your name on the company? You know, like why did you feel reputation was such a big thing for you?
Well, I think that networking is the strongest way you can build yourself up and build your business up. You know, me most of mine was from I did the door knocking as well, but a lot of my business was from word of mouth.
Okay.
So if I messed my reputation with one person that trusted and believed in me, you know, that's especially if it's somebody that's, you know, like influential, like for yourself. If I were to sell you solar and rip you off, you know, that's a lot on the line.
What's the power of 10, right? One person tells 10 people, and then that one, you know, so it's just.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you know, your business is kind of like that as well, right?
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, I'm kind of plugged you in on. Should I get a discount? I should get a discount.
Should show up to sessions.
Man.
Where my sleep has been worked out lately. I'm trying to catch up on that, but no,
trying to
she's
help
right.
you, bro.
No, you are trying to
Sleep
help me.
after the workout.
Anyways, as you were, sir.
No, but I think it's important that you bring. The reason I said reputation, it obviously meant something to you. The other thing you said is like it's something that solar panels you weren't in love with it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not like a passion that
Yeah.
you just wake up like, oh, solar is what I
Right.
want to do. But you've been able to carve out a niche for yourself in that industry, but because of who you are.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So, what do you think? I think a lot of people struggle with purpose a lot. I know me and Bailey have had this conversation. How did you decide it's like, okay, it's not necessarily my purpose, but you found the purpose in being a good person, wanting to network, wanting to help people, and you found a way to allow that to feed your family.
Yeah. So what I think the biggest thing about it is a lot of people believe that they have to make money doing something they love. You know, my mindset, especially when I, you know, speak to my little brothers or people wanting to start a business, is don't do something because you love it. Do it because you believe it. A lot of people, they get into their business of, you know, even, hey, I want to be a coach because I play football. I love doing that. And once it turns into a business, you lose that love, you know? So me, I've always kind of had the mindset of, I want to do what I love for a hobby, or not to rely on it to, you know, take care of me financially. Because if I do something like that, then if it's going not so good, you know, and I quit this because financially I can't handle it, then I lost my love.
You become jaded in that.
Yeah, you know, and so the thing about it is I've always said, you know, just find something that you believe in, and then find a reason why you do stuff. With alternative solar, you know, I've been able to help good friends build themselves up, buy houses, learn how to start businesses, you know.
Hold on, people buying houses not for me, man. What's up?
But no, didn't one.
Well, your brother who reached out to me without I didn't even know y'all brothers till later. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, but with that, you know, it's just what it comes with. So that's kind of the mindset I've always had. Whatever I do, it's not necessarily me doing it because I love it. It's something that I do believe in, and you know, I'll fall in love with the process, which I have.
That's interesting. And Bailey, I want you to talk about this a little bit because I know you're in. You know, we talk about this all the time, but you're in you're in a position where you absolutely don't love what you do, but you're good at what you do. And I think what Eric is saying is, you know, who we are as people can make us successful in kind of whatever we decide to do. And that's a very interesting perspective because I'm like, I would say that I think I've kind of always said the opposite. Find something you love to do and then find out how it can make you money. You know, like Eric Thomas says, or the Bible says, your gift will make room for you.
Yeah.
Well, what you found out is that your gift is you. Your gift is wanting to help people.
Yeah.
And you found an alternative to make, pun intended, right? You found an alternative to allow that to feed your family. And obviously you played, you know, pro ball, and you're probably the second smartest player I've ever coached in my life.
Behind Bailey.
Bailey's the first one. But seriously, y'all both like I've never seen y'all like have a football mind. Obviously, I know you play a lot of flag, and I know you played for Duville, and that's how we met. Bailey, talk about what you think about that on that perspective, because I know you go through that kind of on a regular.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I struggle with more often than I would like to admit. But I've never thought about it like that, like differentiating belief versus love. Because, yeah, I mean, even there was a point in my football career where I love football, but at one point it became a business. I was like, man, I just don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, it's not fun for me. And that's what it was something I'm still super passionate about, but passionate, I'll tell anybody any day, football was my first love. Like, I couldn't let it go, but there was a time where, man, me and football broke up. Like, it wasn't, but that perspective, trying to differentiate those two things, I think it's interesting and something I think I could definitely apply for myself.
For all you realtors wanting to make multiple streams of income, this video is for you. Now, as we enter the busy season of buying and selling houses, I know you guys get excited when you can help a family member, friend, or simply just a client make one of the biggest investments of their lives. Now, why not do more for that client and help them save money monthly, and in return, gain thousands of dollars throughout the process? Thousands of dollars for you in your pocket. Sounds good, right? So here's what I'm proposing. Come join Alternative Solar, and as you're helping your clients get home ownership, you can also help them own their own energy by investing in solar panels with zero down. Fill out the link below so we can help you join the alternative. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I mean, we all three of us played at Columbia. Elliot, did you play? No? Well, never mind, Elliot. Sorry. We all grew up playing Columbia, and that was Coach Pena was a big influence, I think, in all our lives. And it's interesting because football now for me in the semi-pro world is that I do it still out on the side of real estate because I love coaching. Yeah. And I'm not in that day-to-day realm anymore. So I think that's super interesting because I would have never looked at that perspective, ever. I think we talk about purpose a lot. I know we recently lost a young man that we all knew. 4 to 5 of us knew. Elliot behind the camera knew him, worked with him here at Alternative Solar. You were kind of a big brother to him. I met him through, all y'all, AJ, through Duville. We played for Duville. How's that? Unfortunately, Chris Cruz passed away, about a week ago?
Monday.
Monday's a week. So yeah, close to tomorrow will be a week. Tell me what impact that's had on your life, man. Just like right now.
Yeah. Me and Chris, we grew up together, same street, first 2 houses in our community, and it's kind of it hit me a lot, because the big thing about it is, I saw, me and Chris have ups and downs, of course, because I saw more of a little brother family and family fights. That's just the reality. But it being his cousin, that did it, really took a deep toll on me. I was, it was a lot. I just, it's a lot of what ifs. You kind of try and blame yourself. A lot of our friends in our group, it was a lot of what ifs. What if I was there? What if I could have helped them throughout that? And the big thing about it is we have to tell ourselves, hey, no matter what, we know if we were there, we would have had his back. And overall, just seeing the people that were there for him gives me more peace of mind. Seeing people that, truly at the end of the day did love him no matter what, if it was good terms, bad terms. So the impact it's had on me has been it's been life reflecting. One thing I will say is I have tried to make peace with people I've been upset with. Me and Chris were a little upset with each other at the time. So I realized that life is really short. Life is really short. I mean, 26. Chris was 26 years old, and at this age, I'm 28 years old. At this age, it's like we're still, especially for him, still trying to find ourselves. A lot of people are still trying to find themselves. From 20s to mid 35s, people are still trying to find themselves. And for that aspect, what I've tried to take in, you know, and my wife, especially what she tells me is like, reality is people are still growing. So you can love people sometimes at a distance. You can understand that, hey, they're going through things right now. They're going to find themselves and they'll be back on the terms. So just to get back, and I'm getting a little off the topic.
No, you're good, man.
Just to get back to it, it's been a heavy impact, but it's been an eye opener as well. In nothing but good ways.
Bailey, you want to touch on anything about that? I mean, I know we've had some deep conversations. I mean, I wrote down, like, you know, love from a distance. And, you know, there's that saying to be your own people, right? Like, it literally, his own cousin took his life for, I mean, stupidity, right? And I think the life lesson on let's say for the cousin side, your life is, I don't want to say over, but over some alcohol and whatever, an argument, you know, your life is forever changed. My bishop used to always say, don't make a permanent decision in a temporary situation. Like, his situation is completely changed now, that young man. So it's unfortunate, like, Chris lost his life. Now this young man is, I don't say, like I said, I don't want to say he's losing his life, but so many families are now affected by one decision. And I think we live a lot of our life not understanding that in a moment, everything can change. Everything can change. Bailey, you anything you want to say on that? Because I know you're going through some thoughts in your head.
Yeah, I mean, you and I had the conversation after we spoke with Robert last week. It definitely affected me. And initially it was fairly negative, but not because of him. It was just how I was processing the information. And then when I found out about Chris, like, it hit me extra hard. Like, man, I still haven't figured out what my purpose is, and what if I was gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, what impact did I have on people? The good thing is that situation, even that was probably, it was a rough week. That was probably one of the lowest time frames in my life, I'll be honest with you. But I did find out that I have a lot of good people in my corner. You know, obviously my wife, you, my parents, some other people I spoke to about it. It really helped me reel that back in, and it's a positive out of a very negative situation, which I can say that I'm proud of at this point, because there was plenty of points in my life I wouldn't have been able to do that. Like, I wouldn't have been able to pull out of something like that.
What do you think that's helped your growth in that understanding?
What has helped my growth in that?
How did you grow this week off of that situation, being at a low point, and then kind of talking to people? I think Robert talked about last week. It's about having good people in your corner. And I got a question for you in a second. But how, what do you think you grew? Like, what was your mindset in growing this week through this adversity?
Really just being intentional. And one of the things I did try to focus on was I always try to tell people that I run into that are having an issue, just have that spirit of gratitude. Like, realizing that I still have a lot to be grateful for. I mean, I just found out that we're having a baby boy. I just purchased a new vehicle. Like, my job, even though I don't love it, I'm doing well with it. Like, I'm still successful. I'm still able to provide for my family. So there's a lot of things that I could still, quote unquote, cling to that'll help me. Okay, this is a rough patch, but you still have a lot to be grateful for. Like, just keep pushing forward.
So, and coming to you, I know you're kind of in a transition in your life, and you post a lot of things about. I liked your one the other day. Is like something. I'm broke until then, or something like that. Yeah. You post so many, but I know you're in a transition of your life where you are more focusing on yourself.
Yes.
Obviously, your two kids, and we talk about purpose, and we talk about doing something that you love. And I know you've really ran with the gym thing and the working out thing. So talk about your current situation and what growth have you seen in just really kind of putting yourself first.
And I've spoken on this before, but it comes back to just the mindset, and I post this all the time, that you're worth it, right? Because I think a lot of times for me personally, I just didn't see my self-worth. I didn't see what my purpose was. I didn't see my value. So at that point, you kind of maybe don't make the best choices, or you put yourself in situations, or you allow other people to dictate kind of your future, right? Because you're like, well, you know, the moment that I started realizing that, you know what, I do deserve more for myself. I have a bigger calling. I have a purpose. This isn't, this life that I'm living, this groundhog day to day, this is not my purpose, right? And so once I kind of accepted that and embraced that, I ran with it. I believe that the body is a reflection of us, right? So of the choices that we make, right? In that regard. So I've changed a lot of things in that. It's not about vanity at this point, but I want my body, my soul, my mind to all be in alignment, right? So, and I tell you that all the time, right? We got to get that body in alignment with where you're at in your career, where you're at in your walk with your business. So I believe that all that needs to go hand in hand. Now it's just focusing, being better, trying to give back. I believe that when we're in a situation to have more, do more, then we have to give, right? Absolutely. So money for me is, yes, I want money, but for purposes of giving back, to empower, to one of my passions, and I know it'll come to pass, is putting a program together for young girls, you know, for value, to see themselves. I think that deters, when you see your self-worth, will deter a lot of things that they may do, like I did, you know, having sex at a young age, right?
Whoa,
well, I'm just saying.
Well, this is for the kids.
You know, because what? Because why? I didn't see my value.
She says an inappropriate thing on the show every time.
I was saying inappropriate.
I'm
but you know what I mean? Like putting ourselves in bad situations because we don't see, as young women, don't see our value, our worth, you know? So that's something that I'm passionate about. I don't even know what the question was now.
That was good.
What?
Why do you think, and not to go completely off, because I do have some things to get back to Eric on, but I think it's good. Obviously, you're the only woman part of the crew, and there's a reason why I wanted you on the show, is to bring that perspective. Why do you think women don't hold themselves to a higher value? I mean, man, not to get into
that could go really deep.
Okay, so I'm gonna rephrase
today.
it. I can only speak for myself.
Absolutely.
Right. I feel like for me, and I'm gonna talk as an adult, okay? Where I kind of lost myself as an adult. Being a wife, being a mother, I kind of lost sense of self. Okay. Not because anybody made me lose sense of self, but you really get caught up in the role of being a wife and being a mother, right? You're a wife, right? Then I was a mother. That became priority over being a wife, which was a mistake. That should have stayed first and foremost at all times, you know, hindsight, right?
Yeah.
But my focus shifted to my children. Marriage kind of didn't go the way it should have because of that. So I feel like we lose a part of ourselves trying to fulfill these roles. What I learned is that when I put myself first, and not in a selfish way and not in a negative way, but started pouring back into myself, right? When your cup is full, that analogy, right? Your cup is full, then it pours over into everything else. Right. Can't pour from an empty cup.
The Bible says you cannot pour from an empty cup. I try to sleep sometimes.
Yeah. So once, So once I started pouring into myself and just getting my mind right, started honoring my temple, right? And that's how I try to relate it to people. Like, this is our body. This is our temple. This is what we are given as a gift, and we treat it like crap. We eat garbage. We don't, you know, and it's not even about working out. It's just, what are we feeding ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, you know? I feel like that really is powerful, you know? So that's, you know, once I started doing that, then I found myself again, and I was able to be better in every other aspect of my life.
Do y'all believe in the whole mind, body, soul thing? Yeah. Like, absolutely. I know my massage therapist, I just shout out to Mother Nature's Massage. She's a super, like, not to say, she's like a super hippie. Like, she's dope. She has like this whole mind, body, and soul thing. I think it's important what you said, because we get in aspects of life where we just kind of focus on everything, and the balance kind of loses it. Like I think you do well in your career, and you do well kind of spiritually, but then like for me, the body is the last completion of that whole thing. And so I think that is important to have that balance. Eric, as someone that is super successful, man, and I know you're gonna be humble, but you're super successful in what you said. I don't think anyone here at this table. I think when you get to a certain point financially, like that's a cool thing to do, but I think we all want to give back. You know, you gave back to somebody, not intentionally, but I want to talk about getting to a certain status that you are, as far as like your business being super successful. I mean, owning a building, you're hiring people. You know, I mean, how many people are on your staff, so to speak?
50 something.
50 something?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I mean, like, just think about all the lives. Like, you're literally changing people's lives.
Yeah.
And so, and for you, you can change people's lives in a lot of different ways. We can be on the show, we can be inspiring people, and you're an introvert, right? If I said it correctly, Bailey is, and Ellie definitely is, right? But you can still impact people's lives by living your purpose, by going through your purpose, and I really think that's a great point that you brought up on how I didn't love solar, but I know what I loved, and I know I want to be A1 stand-up dude. So talk about what it is to be able to impact so many people's lives through you choosing to fulfill your purpose.
Yeah. Pressure. That's the biggest thing I can say. It's pressure. You know, one thing about it is my why is just so much stronger. You know, my why at first started off was, as a kid, I just wanted to prove people wrong, that, you know, talked, didn't believe in me or things like that. Then it was my wife. Then it was my kids. You know, now it's more than just that. You know, it's 50 people. Can't let them down. Last COVID, you know, just to put out a little of my information, when COVID happened, everybody was like, oh, this is going to happen, all businesses are going to shut down, yada, yada, yada. And my partner at that time, which is not my partner anymore, was like, let's shut the company down, split half and half. Half the money, just shut it down. We're not going to happen. People are going to die. It's not going to succeed. And me, I was like, no, absolutely not. I can't do that. I have 50 people that are relying on us to make it through this, and we'll be just fine. We're doing fine. We're going to be just fine. You know, God, I'm a Christian, I do believe. You know, God hasn't given me the spirit of fear, so me, I wasn't, you know, I've never had any fear, but my why was just too strong to give up. You know, so it's just all about, once again, finding a better alternative, which we did, and thank God it was successful. A really successful year. But my why was just too strong. I couldn't let down 50 people. When I go home, I can't let down my wife and my 2 sons. You know, I can't let down my mom. You know, so with me, it's a lot of pressure. I do take it hard on myself sometimes, maybe too much as well. And, you know, so when I hear you're successful, things like that, you know, I do appreciate it, but I'm just so much more, you know, driven than that. It's, hey, if I believe that I'm so successful, I'm gonna create complacency. And if I create that complacency, I got 50 people, you know, under me, and I'm not saying under me, but, you know, 50 people under me that are at the end of the day relying on me to be a leader in this company and to keep it, you know, going successful. So, for me, I would say it's a lot of pressure, but it's also I love the pressure. You know, I feel like I'm designed and built to handle a lot of pressure. As an engineering major, what makes you a good engineer is being able to problem solve. So me, I'm really good at problem solving, and, you know, I love it. Sometimes it's stressful, and one thing I was just talking to somebody about. With that pressure, every once in a while, anybody feels sorry for themselves. Every once in a while, you know, in life, we feel sorry for ourselves. I'll be in my office, kind of stressing out. My wife come in, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just feeling sorry for myself." I'll be good in like 30 minutes. I'll tell her that because I acknowledge that I'm feeling sorry for myself. But no matter what, I'm gonna be down, be upset. You know, maybe it wasn't a good week, but in 30 minutes, I'm good. You know, it's time to stay.
I think that's a good self-reflection that you're able to admit that you are. You know, there's times that I think I struggle with that. I'll go into like a coma. one, I don't sleep, but the reason I don't sleep is because I feel that pressure.
Yeah.
And and we talked about this on the show. I feel pressure from my whole family. I don't have 50 employees underneath me, but I feel like I have 50 family members underneath me that I'm doing this whole thing for.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of pressure. And it can weigh on you. It weighs on me all the time, And so how do you, I think I do good in pressure too, but what are some of the things that you tell yourself when you kind of have how long, you say you 30 minutes, like you allow yourself to have those moments, and I think that's okay. But how do you think you deal with pressure so much? Like, do you think it's sports that helps shape that?
Yeah, for sure. No, 100% adversity. I mean, we're athletes. You're athletes as well. So we're all athletes. So I feel like athletes, we're designed differently. Especially football, especially as a defensive back. Like Deion Sanders, it's amnesia. I'm going to get caught on. So I realize that I'm going to get caught on. I realize in life, I'm going to fail in some ways. Even in my business, I failed in some ways. I've had a great plan. I'm like, we're going to do this. It's going to be this. We're going to make these numbers. And it didn't work. It completely failed there. I've never failed in my business, but my business has never failed. But I have failed in aspects of my business.
Absolutely.
But the fact that I realized, hey, that's part of business. That's part of life. It's happened to me in football games. I've gotten scored on, maybe had a bad game, but we still won the war. I lose battles. You're going to lose battles in life and business, whatever it is, but I'm going to win the war. And I've always had that mindset of no matter what, it sucks right now, but one, I'm God-fearing, so, I believe no matter what, as long as I believe, I'm going to get through it. And two, I just believe in myself. I believe that I'm going to figure it out. I can figure out no matter what, I'm going to find that avenue that gets me back on track.
Bailey, how do you find that belief in yourself, man? I think we all know that you're. I told you the other day, I was like, you're way more
able to contribute,
influential than you even realize, and maybe your purpose is being served. You have now coming on 2 kids, right? So maybe that's your purpose. But how do you self-reflect and realize that maybe it's not just what you want it to look like, and like I said, in the plans that we make, how does that look for you?
Well, Mo, she wrote a prayer for me, and she was like, take this to work, read this every day, and one of the things that's in that prayer is to be still. So I guess that was my biggest struggle is I felt like I'm not progressing to where I want to be right now versus it just might not be the right time. And we've talked about this before, and it was like, just chill. Like, bro, grind. Like, just do what you're doing. It'll make room for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the most outgoing person, but like you said, I could still have an impact on people. I've got, a handful of athletes, highly successful softball athletes, and I had to reflect like, man, these girls are really appreciative of the things that I do for them, the time that I put in to help them achieve their goals. And I can find, gratitude in that as well. But going back to Eric, this is like, I'm going to gas him for a second, but this dude is probably the most relentless competitor I've ever met. Like, if it could be an argument on Facebook, it could be flag football, it could be whatever. Like, this dude is going to get his point across and that's his passion, that's the belief, and that's what translates to him having a successful business. Like, he's not going to take no for an answer. And if he gets no, he's going to find a different avenue to get to his end goal. And I think that's something that maybe, I don't know if he realized that or not, because sometimes people look at him, and I had conversations with other people like, man, Eric just wants to argue with people, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it does seem like that, but that's just within him. Like, he's a winner, a competitor, and he's going to find a way to reach his goal. So big kudos on that. But obviously that comes naturally, right?
Hi, I'm Eric with Alternative Solar, and I'm excited to announce our new Texas giveaway. So here's how it works. For the next 100 homeowners who join our solar family in the next 2 months and bring one referral with them that joins, will be entered into our raffle. Now, what's the giveaway? A brand new Tesla. Yes, I said that correct. A brand new Tesla. I'm sure you're wondering, well, what's the catch? Well, the catch is we have to guarantee you and your referral long-term savings. And to show you how confident we are that we can, as well as make the deal worth it, we are willing to pay you $100 for getting a quote if we can't save you money. So why not take a chance to win a brand new Tesla, save money, and do it all for $0 down? Click on the link below to get a free quote. Do it the right way, do it better, go with the alternative.
Yeah, and it's funny the arguing part on Facebook. The thing, honestly, you know what I learned? I kind of try to stop doing it because I realized that on Facebook, the arguments never end.
Right, never end.
It's designed. It's designed for us to not agree.
Right,
You know,
right.
it really is. Like if it's something like here, I've had like literally an argument on Facebook if it's politics, and talk to that person in person, and we made it an understanding. But on Facebook, we purposely like take it the wrong way. It's like we purposely take it the wrong way so we can keep it going. We want to see who can get the most likes, and
Right.
it's more so entertaining. But it's funny that you bring that up.
I think it's important. No, I would like to touch about that, just kind of social media. But like, I think a lot of people sometimes, obviously, communication, like verbal, is I would think be the best, right?
Yeah.
But nobody does it anymore, right? Everything's, the Twitter fingers and everything can say what you want to say. How do you? And I guess you said you kind of stop because like I've heard the whole saying like, don't argue with a fool because from afar.
Yeah.
A person can't tell who the fool is,
Yeah.
right? So how have you done that?
It's I had to stop. It gets too draining. That's why I'm so glad that the politic part is over with. Because it's just draining after a while. You realize, honestly, I had to realize that.
How much time you're investing in
Yes,
this?
I'll be on there like 3-4 hours. People trying to call me. Hold on 1 second. And I'm like, holy. Yeah, I'm like, I've never like cussed anybody out on Facebook or said anything
Right.
like terrible, but like it's like little tiny debates. I mean, it's fun
just a
debating.
debate.
It's kind of fun debating sometimes if it's sports. Like, oh, this is the best quarterback, and you're like, no, it's so and so. At the end of the day, it's really just an opinion. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, honestly, I've just had to realize, like, first off, it's taking too much of my time. Too much of my time, for sure. And then secondly, it's not going to really get anywhere. Not on social media.
I think,
Investment with no return.
With no return at all.
there's no ROI on that one, right? As a business owner, man, like I'm self-employed also, right? So I really stay away from that because, and this is bad. I always think about Michael Jordan said is Republicans buy sneakers too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Republicans buy houses too.
That's true.
I've had people inbox me. I've had young people inbox me that like, Coach, what do you think about this situation? Can you post something about this situation or this political thing or this what's going on right now with the Palestinians and Israelis? Like, I had a young girl that I've coached that reached out to me because she's on one side, obviously, and I'm just like, I don't really get into that stuff, like, because I don't. Now, here's my thing. I don't get into it because whatever's going on, or I don't think there's a right or wrong, things like that. I don't get into it because I don't know enough about it
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
to try to put an opinion. And I think a lot of people will really, in life, especially on social media, will have that this long paragraph, and then it's like someone comes and fact checks, so to speak, and it's like, well, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And you have an opinion that's been formed by either watching somebody else or what what other people heard. And I think today in society, our opinions are formed by what we see and what we hear from our friend or our homie versus us doing the work and researching it. And so I think the life lesson is that, like, be you. Figure out, and I think that's important for you. My question was, as a business owner, has that affected you? Because I know you're super outspoken on Facebook.
Yeah.
Super outspoken. And I'm like positivity, and then I see bad things happen. There's obviously things that when Black Lives Matter, that whole thing was going on.
Yeah.
I blacked out my picture because the people around me, if I know it's affecting the people around me, it's affecting him. I grew up John Jay, predominantly, Black and Hispanic community.
Are you light skinned?
I'm hot Yella.
Oh, Sinbad looking.
I'm a high Yella. Hey, name the podcast High Yella. That's what we doing. High Yella. That's what it's gonna be. The alternative, High Yella. There we go. We got the name. how did you just on a business side, not to get too too deep, but like how has that affected your business? What makes you so comfortable enough? Because I'm not comfortable speaking out like that. What makes you like that?
I mean, honestly, I kind of still watch what I say. Now, don't get me wrong. I kind of still watch what I say. One, I don't curse on Facebook.
Right.
That's just one thing. I don't just cuss. I don't tell people off on Facebook like that. And when I am debating, I still try and keep it respectable. Because I don't want my character to be tarnished on social media.
Very, very
at
good
all.
point.
So I don't do that. Only thing I really ever talk about, if it's sports, I'll go into it because that's
Oh, you way wrong on many sports topics.
I'm not a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I'm pretty.
I didn't say nothing.
See,
I get tired of being labeled with these Cowboy fans.
You gotta do that to yourself.
Let me clear this up so everyone can know. I am a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I am not the ignorant Dallas Cowboy fan that says we're winning the Super Bowl.
Says every Dallas Cowboy fan.
You're alienating America's team right now.
I'm not alienating nothing. I'm saying I'm doing the Eric. I'm taking a stand on social media now.
That's like saying I'm not black. I'm black, but I'm not that type of black. Look at you. It be your own people, like you said. It be your own people.
I'm high Yella. I'm high Yella. What you mean? I'm high Yella. I'm just saying. Here's my thing. I always tell people I'm a coach. I know the game, right? So I don't look at it as a fan perspective.
Yeah.
I look at it as like people like, oh, y'all gonna make the playoffs. Newell's James was trying to get me on that. He's like, here you go. I'm like, here I go. You the one that posted it. How I go? He's like, oh, y'all going to the Super Bowl? Y'all going to playoffs? I'm like, I don't know. I can't tell the future. I watch it week by week. The season by season, like as it progresses. I think if we can live life a little bit like that, we always see the end goal or what we want. What we want to happen, right? But it's not reality.
It's true.
And we have to get to a point. I try to look at everything. I always try not to speak in absolute terms, also because something opposite is gonna happen. There's an opposite of everything that we choose. So you're a Texans fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Just gonna leave it at that. But. Sir, do you have a question?
I do. So, Eric, you are a young man. You mentioned your age earlier. I'm not going to repeat it, but
28.
Definitely a young man, right? And just hearing you speak, it's refreshing because me at 28, I definitely was talking about totally different things.
Yeah, we know.
So. At what age, I mean, you were engineering major, you mentioned, right? At what age did you know, and this may be going back to your sports or youth, that you just kind of had that, and I don't want to, but that like, when did you find that you were driven in this regards, or you had these aspirations, or maybe not solar panels, but, I'm still trying to figure out, what's out there. So, knowing at a young age, that's...
So, I mean, I had I was always naturally determined, always, kind of. I mean, one of my aunts, she laughs, kind of have a business, because she's like, since you were 5, you said you were going to own a business. Like, I was going to own a zoo. I used to love animals, so I wanted to have a zoo. One day, maybe, I don't know. But once I realized that I truly had the gift was when I did get into the... I guess I would say when I got into the sales realm, and I realized that I was good at it, and then I started kind of learning, how to be a better leader. I was a leader in college, all throughout college, so I already knew how to be a leader. I figured out I was a leader when I went as a freshman. I didn't think I was a leader. The coaches at UMHB, Bailey went to UMHB as well. They kind of instilled,
Hardin Simmons in the house.
We don't want to talk about Hardin Simmons.
Cowboy up.
They kind of instilled, they kind of broke that leadership into me, saying, hey, you're a leader. Then I had to realize I was a leader. But once I got into it and I went through a few obstacles and, figured I could get through it and understood it, then I think that I knew that I could do this. I was destined to do this. And then simply people just believing in me. I think a lot of my family and friends bringing that belief in me made me believe it more. When people tell me, like when Mark says, you're very successful at your age, that just motivates me to want to be more successful, not want to let him down, and continue to be, the person that he sees me as,
So when you say gift, would you say like gift of people? Would you say gift of kind of gift?
What do you think your gift is?
What is your gift?
I'm very convincing.
The gift of gab?
But no, I'm very convincing, and I'm a very good problem solver. Like I said, my major was engineering, so I've always had a great ability to problem solve and be fast on my feet. Even in sports, I was never the fastest, never the strongest, never the quickest, most athletic. I was just smart. I was just super smart, and I was good at problem solving and just getting through that adversity.
You've mentioned problem solving several times in your major and in life. But can you pinpoint, you think, where that came from?
I mean, not
just a natural ability?
Not necessarily. I was the kid that would take pins apart and then wanted to figure out how to put it
That's
together.
a very engineer mindset.
So it's just always the it's always literally been just kind of a mindset I've always had, I think.
So let me ask you this. You're an introvert.
Yeah.
We talked about that. The reason I bring that up is because I know people that watch the show that really, one of my best friends is a super introvert.
Yeah.
Great person, super important in my life. Talking to people that are out there that are not the high I, like myself, like assertive, that are like ready to talk about anything, do anything. Like, just, we can go talk to anybody on the street. Like right now, I go talk to anybody walking by. It doesn't bother me. Like, hey, how you doing? How did you put those two things together, knowing that you have this like high, want to convince people, want to be successful, but very introvert at the same time? How did you make that work?
Well,
or how can people that also are introverts like that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like try to give people some tangible things that they can use that you've used?
So I'm not the best at talking at stuff I don't believe in, or I'm not the best at that. So if we were talking about something like, I don't know, basketball or something like that, or just little
cars.
Things.
You a car guy?
Cars, not really a car guy. So
yeah, see.
I'd be more quiet. It's really not something I can really talk about. So I'm outside of stuff. Usually I don't like to be the center of attention. I hate being the center of attention most of the time. But if it's something that I believe in, I can talk about it. Wholeheartedly. Another thing is, I realized that I kind of had to put myself out there in a positive way, not negative way, but put myself out there in a positive way for people to see what I'm doing. At first, I didn't want people to know I own a business. I go into people's house, and sometimes I still go into people's house, talk to them about solar, and they won't even know I'm the owner. I had one person that my phone was messing. They're like, "You need to tell your boss to get you a new phone." I'm like,
I'll let him know.
I'm like, I'll let him know, and I've heard that, most times, but for a while, I didn't want people to know I owned a business. I didn't want them to know, what I was really doing. And at that time, it might have been a confidence, it might have been a confidence thing, but I had to build more confidence, get myself, doing those videos with Elliot. Elliot's helped me get out of my comfort zone a lot with videos. I mean, you right now, you helped me get out of my comfort zone. I was all nervous last night. I was like, oh, golly, I don't, but just getting out your comfort zone. I door knocked. I thought I'd be terrible at door knock because I'm a introvert. My brother is an extrovert. Etaj, you guys know Etaj. He loves being center of attention. He can talk to a wall. He can talk to a wall, literally. But he's always been the extroverted one. When we were around people, I'd be, Etaj, go talk. I'd tell him to go talk. I'd be, hanging out. And so he came and did the same job as me. I was better than him at it, door to door, talking to people's face, and it just didn't make sense because we were like, oh, I was like, Todd, you need to come. You're extroverted. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna be even way better than I am at it. But doing that, going door to door, that helped me out a lot as well because I was able to gain people skills, able to figure out how to have a conversation other than, hey, how are you doing? Oh, okay, that's good, and then so it gave me really more people skills just doing that as well. So overall, being an introvert, I would think the biggest thing is just getting out your comfort zone and really just throwing yourself out there.
But that's so hard for y'all.
It is. It is.
It's so hard for y'all.
Yeah, but what's that saying with you got to get out of your comfort zone, right? For
It was a couple
change
weeks ago.
and-
We were talking about being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We were talking
Yeah.
with Andrew, I think.
Yeah, being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
I don't think you can be successful without doing that. You know, without coming out of your comfort zone and with taking risk. You know,
Comes growth, I think, with this.
And I think a lot of times we look at success as a financial thing.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's
Because you can read numbers, like you can't necessarily gauge somebody's, mental state when it comes to success.
And I think that's what a lot. And my advice to people that are introverted is like, success doesn't drive everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we had this talk the other day when you were what the job was making you come in, and they're like, "Hey, but it's gonna be extra money." That you're like, that doesn't motivate me.
I'm not motivated by money.
He's a true team player as a leader. He's a captain, right? And I told him that's why you're a captain, because
Yeah.
he was like, if they would have came at me and said, "Hey, the community needs you because of the hail damage, the team needs you because of hail damage. We need you there."
Yep.
Bailey's like, "Got you."
At 4:00 in the morning.
Right. Bailey's, I got you. And so we're all driven by different things, and I think that's important to understand. It's not money's not the root of all success.
Yeah.
There's people that are going to be successful within their own family and really within themselves. To me, the self-growth, especially for people from introverts that are not going to put themselves out there ever, it's like, how are you growing in your mental stability, in your mental capacity to be the best version of you? Because ultimately all we're trying to do, physically, mentally, and spiritually, try to be the best version of us. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, going back to Chris Cruz, like, it's life short. So if you're worried about how much money you make and how many cars you drive or, whatever, if I die tomorrow, like, I would think that people would know that I gave everything I had.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I try to impact as many people's lives as I could.
right.
And that's really all I think. We define success so much by money. And I know we bring up a lot of entrepreneurs on here, but we've talked about it many times. If working a 9 to 5 is your thing, you're the greatest. Like even Robert said it last week. Like maybe you're not the sales guy. Maybe you're the best receptionist
Yeah.
in the world, that you bring light to people's day as soon as they walk in and you cheer them up while they're there. That's okay for that to be your gift.
Yeah.
And especially what you said earlier, that's your job, but then maybe your hobby outside, sewing,
Yeah.
arts and crafts is what your real love is. And then say you make $50 a month off of something you love to do. Well, guess what? Now you have that balance in life where you have a job, you're providing for your family, but you're still doing something you love and you're still making an impact for yourself.
Right.
So I do want to talk about family. You say you had 2 little boys.
Yep.
How has that changed your life?
That's been one of the biggest changes of my life. I think I had. I mean, would y'all consider 23 young having kids?
I'm 40, man.
I mean, for my group of people that I know, I think that's still fairly young.
So I feel like I had kids pretty young. I mean, not like young. That's kind of, but younger than my parents had me at least. I feel like that was part of why it made it a lot stronger. Especially because if I was single with no kids, I mean, I probably would have done more reckless things and just crashed and burned, because that's.
You would have been
I'm a
started out
burning
here.
Phoenix, I would just
A burning phoenix.
I would just keep crashing and burning. So
Were you a burning phoenix, Sarda?
At 28?
so I mean, yeah. I
At
think it's
23, he's
strong.
talking about 23.
Oh, yes.
She's like, oh, for sure.
It's just-
Pile of ashes.
Oh,
Yeah, you had hot girl summers before it was hot girl summers, huh?
they
yes.
create-
Under a year.
So what is the biggest thing? What are your sons' names?
Eliath, and Isaiah.
Eliath and Uzziah?
King and Isaiah Jalil.
Where'd you get those from? Or what
Eliath.
group?
So some kid's name was Elias when I was working for some little moving company, and I texted my wife. I was like, because all of us are E's. My brother's name's Etaj, Alexis, Emerson, Empress. My dad's Emerson, and another brother, Aaron.
Wow.
So, and then my brother's, all his kids are E's, all my kids are E's, and we keep going. My little sister messed it up, Alexis.
With an A?
And then with a Nevea, an N.
Oh, they said, your sister's name's
Alexis.
Alexis.
Hers
Alexis.
is
Nevaeh,
Yeah,
having
mine is Nevaeh.
backwards?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so it's cool.
I used to be a teacher, and I've seen all kind of names.
But Eliath King and Isaiah Jalil.
But did those names mean anything in particular?
Oh, so yeah, sorry, I got off topic.
No, you're good.
Eliath was just I like the name Elias, and my wife was like Eliath. I was like, no, but that sounds good. So that name,
go with that.
King, I like King, and then Isaiah Jalil. We just like the name. His middle name is my middle name, Jalil.
What's on the baby daddy name? Didn't y'all have a name coming up? Or y'all have one picked?
We haven't decided. It's either going to be Marcel, Marcelo, or Robert III, but we haven't.
No, I don't know if y'all noticed the Marcelo.
But
We
that's
get
not
it.
Mark.
We get it, Mark. It's the first. Yes, we get
in
it.
it. I'm just saying.
We see what you're going for. You gonna call him Lil Mark?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm trying to have a kid within the next 2 years so I can keep him.
You gonna have the little Mark, not me.
No,
I'm Lil Mark.
I'm gonna name my son Big Mark.
Big Mark.
That's gonna be his name. I always wanted to name my son. Don't make fun of me. Oh dang, I forgot. No, Kyer.
Kyer?
Kyer, middle name Jordan.
That's pretty cool, actually. How would you spell it?
Keyar.
Kyer.
Kyer and the middle name Jordan, like Air Jordan.
Kyer Jordan.
That's probably why I haven't found a wife, because that's if I tell
Have you told him that name?
if I tell her that I want to name my son Air Jordan, basically, that's the only reason why I'm single. Apparently, we won't get into that.
We're working on a different name.
What'd you say?
So we're working on a different name.
Think so? Can we work on a girlfriend? Never mind. I wanted to talk to you, man. We had this conversation one time, and we had this conversation the other night after Chris Cruz's visual. We have a lot of big plans, and I think we really need to buckle down and really talk. I have a lot of ideas. You have a lot of ideas, and I think we can get a lot of things done for the community. But we had this conversation, not an argument one time, but because I think it was on Facebook, or maybe it was text. I think we talked about loyalty.
Oh.
You remember this?
Yeah.
I have a saying, and I don't know where I got it from. I don't think I made it up, but loyalty has an expiration date.
I think it was like a mob thing.
A mob thing? What's that?
Like within the mob.
A mob.
Oh.
Scarface?
Hey, by the way, have y'all seen Snowfall?
Anyway, back to the question.
Man, I want to talk about it. I want to talk about Franklin Saint. That's interesting. That's for another day. Snowfall, check it out. Super dope.
I think I watched.
It's on Hulu. It's not TV. That's the only thing I watch right now. But anyway, I want to get back to the loyalty and maybe have a little debate. Loyalty having an expiration date, because especially in this business, right? In entrepreneurs, like loyalty, like you're my solar guy.
Yeah.
And I got a guy that I went to high school with that I don't want,
Yeah.
he does solar. Yeah. And I met you. I obviously met him first, but we connected on the solar thing first. I'm just a big loyal person, right? I've found in life that loyalty does expire at some point.
Within yourself or within people that you've had?
Within relationships.
I believe if it's not a partnership and an equal relationship, I believe that at some point loyalty has to come to an end. But if, you know what I mean? Like if it's give, no, and take, you know what I mean? Like it's not balanced in that regard.
To me, that's a perspective thing, right?
Sure, I can see that.
What one perceives is no longer giving back equally to a relationship, then yeah, I can agree with that. But I've personally experienced, and I don't want to I can't get in too much into it, but loyalty having an expiration date. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it depends on the foundation. I don't really truly believe that true loyalty has an expiration date. I mean,
what do you consider loyalty?
I mean, no matter what, being there, and having that person's back, not changing up on them no matter what. I mean, at the end of the day, if loyalty truly expired, then how do marriages last?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's.
I was going to say, it's contingent upon the relationship.
Yeah, and the thing about it is like, yeah, sure. If it's just all about me getting deals from you or you getting deals from me, then yeah, it'll expire. Oh, somebody.
I haven't gotten a deal from you yet.
You got it. You got tagged in like 6 posts, but I don't know.
That, he told me that night I tagged your 6 posts off. I ain't seen not one of them.
This
If we're
week-
not friends,
this
I don't
week,
see the
watch.
tag. And he was like, "Oh, that makes sense because you never comment." I'm like, "Yeah, I comment if I seen it."
We'll fix that this week.
No, yeah, but
But I don't feel that true loyalty has an expiration date. If I'm only loyal to you because, hey, you're taking care of me financially, so I'll take care of you financially, then yeah, of course it's gonna expire. But
Yeah.
it depends on what aspect I guess we're talking about. You know?
okay. So I'm not talking about marriage,
Okay.
right? Like that's a union to mine. Like you've decided to be bond. I'm talking about more of a, I guess, friendship.
Yeah.
Let's say friendship to kind of blanket statement.
Okay.
Bailey, do you think loyalty has an expiration date?
Hi, I'm Alex, the head system monitor for Alternative Solar, and today we're happy to announce Solar Skins, a new option for solar enthusiasts that just don't like the way that black panels look on a roof, or if your HOA is giving you a hard time. Solar Skins are a graphic overlay that transforms your panel's visual appearance while also protecting them with a design that represents whatever you want. Whether you want your panels to look like your roof, a solid color, text, or an image, the skins are fully customizable to whatever you'd like. They come with a 10-year warranty and are compatible with any panel manufacturer. If you want to save money, energy, and look good doing it, contact Alternative Solar to learn more and see if a skin is right for you.
Why?
Because people, no matter what, have self-interest. Like, no matter how good your intentions might be, especially if it comes down to business, that's what your end game is going to be. So there's going to become a point where your self-interest is going to probably outweigh that friendship, relationship, whatever the case may be, because you're looking for a profit. If you can enter into a relationship, just like you said, to blanket it like a marriage, there is no self-interest. There shouldn't be, because we did like this marital counseling thing before we got married, and one of the things that we talked about was a lot of people in a relationship, they'll say, well, we're gonna go 50-50, we're gonna meet in the middle, but that it was an interesting perspective that they said it shouldn't be 50-50. It's got to be 100 and 100. Like, there's no meet in the middle. Like, you give everything and they're going to give everything back to you. In business or just a general friendship, I think that's really hard to maintain, just because it's different than marriage, obviously. But if you can have that mindset, like, you know that your partner is giving 100, you're going to give 100. You know what I'm saying? But if money becomes involved, you know how that goes, man. Like,
Yeah. Not even necessarily talk about money like business, but sir, do you think loyalty has an expiration date?
I think to some extent, like Bailey said, in that business aspect, yes. In maybe a good friend, like family member, right? For instance, right? I feel like there's a point where you may have to cut family members off, but if they needed something from me 10 years from now, I would be there. You know what I mean? So.
But that means that loyalty stays.
Yeah. But like I said, I think it depends on the dynamic of the
It might be a
relationship.
different degree of
Yeah.
Like she's saying, the foundation. Like, so if the foundation is business, I agree. Yeah, the loyalty,
Okay.
because sometimes it ends. There's been times I say it's just business. That's just business. So I agree the aspect for sure. But like, even I have my good friends that work for me. If I let them go, it's still loyalty at the end of the day. I still love them. If they call me and they need help, I still have to back.
Yeah, I think loyalty has an expiration date because at some point, one like, and it's almost like what Beatty said. One person's needs or wants outgrows the others.
Yeah.
And in growth, if we're all truly looking for growth, I've lost some very, very, very good friends in my life that I would have thought I would have never lost.
Yeah.
Ever.
But let me ask you this: let's say if they called you tomorrow and that they needed you for something, would you be there?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Fair.
Not like, because they chose.
Okay.
They chose to sever the
I feel
loyalty.
that.
I don't feel like it's burnt a bridge. I think that one crossed the bridge and then the bridge collapsed, and then so there's no. I mean, maybe I guess that's a burnt bridge,
It's
right?
time to burn.
Yeah,
It burned from it collapsed from fire, so I get it.
I know. I guess that was bad, right? That was bad.
Collapsing could be like
But it was. Let's just say it's a one-way street. Like once you went on that side, it's like I'm always love you. I'm always like remember the times, but it's like I can't.
You can't. You don't have to cling on to it.
No, no. But that's another story for another day. But I do. When we brought up something, letting people go. I'm sure you get asked to help a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of probably know where I'm going with this, but I've helped a lot of people. I don't post a lot about it. I've literally financially helped a lot of people, mentally helped a lot of people through counseling, so to speak. People think I'm a counselor. I'm a great marriage counselor, by the way, I think, but I don't know how to be in relationships, but I know how to be a team. I know how to be in a team. I think a relationship is very team oriented. But what point do you have to cut somebody off and not help them?
Business wise?
No, business wise, or like anybody that maybe a family member, anyone that's come to you, someone an associate, someone you've been close to, that you've helped out.
I guess I'm still having an issue with that. 'Cause I still help out, kinda. Honestly, that's one of my weaknesses. One big weakness is I don't know how to. I shared this on Facebook not long ago. I give energy and I don't always receive the same, but I keep giving that same energy. You know what I mean? And so mentally, I've been like, my heart's getting colder because I'm realizing that, dang, people won't, they won't.
Not everybody's you.
No, and not everybody's gonna do the things that I would do for them as for me. And then they're like, well, you can't expect me it's not my fault that's what you do. I didn't tell you to do that. Things like that.
Yeah.
Then you get into that mindset, but it just mentally messes you up because it's like, do they truly value me as much as I value them? Or do they truly have my back as much as I really have their back? So you just start to question relationships, and especially when you mix business in relationships or finance in relationships, you really see truly like, these people don't want to give me the same energy or value me just as.
You think it's maybe not necessarily that they don't want to, but that's just not there. And we've talked about this, their love language, that's just not how they communicate. You know what I mean? So while you are a giver, right? Yeah. You give. So your love language is somebody like, okay, they're giving back to me. Yeah. They are invested in me, but that may not be what they. You know what I mean? That may not be how they show support, or that may not be how they show an investment into you, because they're not. And so when they say, "Well, I didn't expect it," well, because that's not their love language. Right. That's your love language. You know what I mean?
Agree with that, but I think that a lot of people in life, one, don't stop being you. My advice to you is don't stop being you. Don't let it jade your heart because.
But just don't have expectations either.
That's the big thing.
I don't have expectations of people to do the same thing you would do for them.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people in life, and to a lot of people listening, there's somebody in their life that drains them. And we have to find that balance of being able to give to people and also enabling people. We enable people in our lives that shouldn't have the right to control us that much. So you said messes with your mind. That's when you know it's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
Give with a pure heart and pure intention. That's what the Bible says, right? Give with a pure heart, give intention. But if it starts affecting the way you see and how you would approach the next one, then you got to pull out, especially from that person. Yeah. Because it's going to change you, and you could block your own blessing by not giving to somebody. And I think a lot of people do this in life is we don't get me started on females, in my opinion, because like when you see a good man, it's like, well, all guys are assholes. Look, I cuss first. No, I don't. That'd be a whole conversation. We're gonna bring Tracy Ross back on one day for that. But keep giving and keep doing you. You know, but I know for me, there's a particular person that I've been enabling because I have a big heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, at what point, and people have to do this, and I'm realizing it as a giver, and like I said, I know you give a lot. I don't post it. I'm not one of those like, yo, just gave $20 to a homeless guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I allow God and the Spirit to tell me. I will see somebody,
Yeah.
and if I feel it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
If I don't, I don't feel bad for not doing it.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
And I think we have to be driven by that more, energy, spirit, vibe, whatever we call it these days, right?
Yeah.
You know, but don't lose sight in that. But I think we got to stop enabling people that are draining us, that are definitely draining us. Brad, you got anything?
No, I mean, I was just soaking that in, and there was a situation to where I got in a debate with one of our friends, Ben, about.
Drop the name. Drop it.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise, a debate with Ben.
I was going to say, he's a debatable guy.
We were talking about enabling and stuff like that, and where he was with, a situation that he was in, and my I guess argument was, if that's what God wants me to do, I'm just going to do it. Like, I can't sit there and think about the return. If I'm supposed to give it, I'm just gonna have to give it. I can't control that other person. I can only control me.
Yeah.
And if I feel like that's something I'm supposed to do, if it's not any sweat off my back, if it's money or time that I would spend anyways, it is what it is. Like, I don't control that situation. Yeah. Here you go. I don't expect nothing back.
We're talking about the same situation, are we not?
Yeah. We are.
Yeah, we're definitely talking about the same situation.
Now, you've poured into that situation more than I have, but I have definitely put my fair share into it too. But maybe it's just me, dude. Like, me, stuff rolls off my back all the time.
Loyalty has an expiration date, I guess. So like Duville, man. Duville brought us all together. That's how I met you, Chris Cruz. Bailey, Ben. This is such a big part. But the whole motto is faith, family, Duville, right? Like, and it's hard not to want to get back to people that y'all sacrifice your body for me as a coach.
Yeah.
Like I don't take that lightly. Like you guys, especially you're grown, you're not getting paid. Like you're sacrificing your body. It's why I want you and E-Taj to play. Like I want y'all. Like I know your last game.
I still want to see that video.
I'm not showing the video. He got knocked out.
I just want to let you know when you said that, like, I got chills.
What?
That you don't take it lightly that they sacrifice their body.
Oh no! And it's why it hurts to see a Chris Cruz like it's. And I know y'all had him. I know y'all were helping, but it's like, what could I have done more?
Yeah.
And as a coach, I got athletes that are graduating now, that are like going into senior year, junior. I think my last class, there will be juniors this year, and that we talk to, and it's like I miss that, but it's like, where do you think you have to draw the line? Like where is that line drawn?
Yeah, I guess that's hard.
Your breaking point.
Yeah.
Personally when that is for you.
Yeah. Well, you got a big heart, man. It's hard to like not want to help everybody.
That's true.
You can or can't? No. My aunt told me this last week. She was like, and this is a perspective, like sometimes your job is just to plant the seed. It's not to see it grow. It's not to see it blossom. Like you plant that seed. So yeah, I think it's been a heavy week for a lot of us, and with Chris, and definitely just seeing, man, we talked about the young people. We talked about at the visit, man, young people. Like, what are these young people thinking, man?
Yeah.
Like, how can you help a young-minded person, man? You started off young. You're successful, considerably young, 28. What do you think that mindset?
I guess, what you said is actually perfect. You can only plant that seed sometimes. especially with a brain that's, I mean, there's so many times my mom told me as a kid, you'll understand one day. I mean, all of us heard that. Now we understand, so sometimes it takes that time. I have friends now from 4 years ago. It's like, look, I remember you said you were right. Not necessarily being right, but it's like
right.
All you can do is plant that seed. That's really all you can do sometimes. Is just plant that seed and let them remember that, reflect on it, and let them grow from it. Like I was saying, sometimes you got to love from a distance. Sometimes you got to help from a distance. And the reality is, that's all you can do sometimes. So I like that analogy. You got to plant the seed just sometimes.
Yeah. So we do a little thing on here about books. You read any books?
No.
Do you?
Not really. No.
You don't read any books, huh?
No, I do. I mean,
Do you do Audible books?
Audibles sometimes.
Okay, my guy.
I'll drive from church about 45, but like.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, honestly, I just don't have the attention span to just be,
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we all learn differently, huh?
I'm not a book reader.
That's Ben Velarde. Ben Velarde, you're being called out, sir.
Wow, what's he say?
Oh.
Every week this is a debate.
I think we should have Ben on the show. No, I'm just.
No, we should have been on the show. He's been brought up a couple times. No, but like Ben doesn't like there's people that say that it's not the same.
It's 100% not the same. It's just what works for you.
Yeah, but it's the same. I mean, you're hearing it. I mean, I think an Audible can help out, better for some people because.
For me, if I'm reading, I will read the same page 10 times before I really grasp what I'm reading. Like, okay, because my mind is going this way, and I'm like, okay, go bring it back. And then my mind goes somewhere else. So when I'm driving and I'm listening, oh yeah, that's good. And I'll replay it, oh yeah, that's good. You know what I mean?
Eric Thomas says, like, I'm not on reading books no more. He's like, I'm on reading one page. He's like, I'd rather read one page 100 times than read 100 pages once.
That's true. I
like that.
That's deep. But it's true.
But I mean, I think I think people can get lost, and that's a life lesson, right? We just trying to do so many things.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on one, focusing on what you're good at, focusing on what you like, what drives you, your why, your purpose, all that stuff. So
let's rephrase this. What are you listening to anything currently?
Right now, no, not currently.
we have some suggestions for you.
Please, no,
The
definitely.
48 Powers.
I do it. I actually just got that one. I think
I'm on the
just got
25th.
Is it good?
Oh man, it's good.
It's good.
It's crazy. Like I want to like. The only problem with it, maybe I'm about to walk myself into this one. By listening to it when I'm driving, they'll bring up a whole bunch of different like philosophers, different people, right? And then they'll give you like a life lesson, like basically what do they call it? What does he say? He's like not perspective, but anyway, they'll talk about the story, and then they'll tell you what basically the meaning behind that story is supposed to be, right? But they're bringing up a whole bunch of different people from a lifetime. And that's why this is my biggest thing about starting the show was like life experiences have been happening since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
And there's not anything, I mean, obviously new things can happen, but for the majority, somebody has gone through what you're going through or what you're about to go through in life. So if we can put that out there, we can put our life experiences. That's why I want to have a guest every week and not just be us, because I want to hear a different life perspective. Hear from an introvert when I'm not an introvert. So you're impacting somebody's life that I probably couldn't, because we're not the same.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the book is about. It's just a whole bunch of experience. And it talks about how to create power, obviously. But that's a really good one. I've been wanting the Richest Man in Babylon. I think that'll be my next one.
I have that one in queue.
That'll be the next one. I don't sleep on Matthew McConaughey, Green Lights.
That's a very good book. I really enjoyed that book.
You got to send me something Audible so I can check it
I definitely. I'll send you a couple credits too, man, if you want. But Matthew McConaughey, Green Lights.
Who told you about that one?
Trying to remember.
Pretty sure I did.
I think I went to a UT game or something and I saw him. the minister of what is he? The minister of.
No, it really is a good, and it's an easy listen. You know what I mean? Like I think it flows very well.
50 Cent book was pretty good too.
That was a really good book too. Who told you about that one?
You. Wow.
You got a personal librarian too?
Because we always ask each other, like, what are you reading? What are you doing for personal development? You know what I mean? Like, I was
She's trying to make sure it's equal.
Yeah, I was trying to like, not going under the bus. But
man, you got any kind of final things that you like to leave tell us about the Tesla that I won.
How did somebody get in contact with your business?
I thought I won a Tesla.
Yeah.
I don't think I fit in it, but
No, 866 Alt Solar. I know it's one extra one, but you type it in, it'll work. If you guys want a free quote, let me know. I will save you money, guaranteed. Let me know you know one of these guys, and I'll take care of you guys for sure.
IG, you have a
Alternative Solar.
let them know I sent some.
Alternative Solar is our Facebook.
okay.
Alternative-Solar is our website. IG. We don't have, Ellie, do we have IG?
Oh, Elliot, why do you not? Elliot, I'm so.
Where the grind never stopped.
Where the grind never stopped? Apparently, the grind stopped on that one. It stopped on that one, Elliot. Hey, I'm still waiting for our IG for the show, Elliot. Like, you ain't got enough stuff to do.
Before I was talking about that, shit was like IGTV or something that we
Oh, you should.
get into that.
Oh, because you have to tell me about that, because when I shared one of the videos you sent, it talked about IGTV, and it didn't come on my feed, or I think it came on like another tab. Well, I guess we'll talk about that after the show. But paying you a lot of money, Elliot. Paying you a lot of money. He's like, no, you're not.
Like, not that much.
No, you not.
Never stopped yesterday. He did a little shoot for us for the gym, so
There we go.
super
Nice.
excited. Yeah, good stuff.
man.
So I appreciate him.
Man, one of the best compliments I've ever been given is that I'm a connector. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think people that, like, in our industry,
Yeah.
being a connector, like, I love connecting people.
Yeah.
You know, like Elliot, man, and it's crazy. I hired him. I didn't hire him that day, but we did our thing.
Yeah.
And I pitched him. I was like, hey, man, I got an idea about a show that I want to do. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. And this young man, he's not a kid, but he's a kid to me. I'm 40. So how old are you, Elliot? 28. Yeah, y'all both 20. Y'all babies. So
Young man.
yeah, hot girl summers. Calm down. Calm down. But being a connector, man, I think that's, to leave some people with, connect people.
Yeah.
Promote, man. Show small businesses love. Like, and I think maybe we should have like a small business portion. Like,
Meet and greet, like a mixer.
Well, and you remember I was telling you what we were talking about. We need to, especially in San Antonio, a lot of us, everybody's trying to make it, not really trying to help you build it up. Why not start, like I was saying, the village, to where we come and bring, have a network of us.
A one-stop shop.
Yeah, and that can really build, if you need something, okay, this is the person. Keep building up our village where we, keep it together. You know what I mean?
so my boy Melvin Dudley, I don't know, y'all probably don't know Melvin Dudley, but he's, him and Jared, they had recently, Jared Fears does, Fears Kitchen.
Okay.
They had bought this property on Marbach. So, and I need to wear the shirt. I need this shirt. Melvin has had this idea for a while, actually. He calls it Project Exit 7. So it's very, very similar to the village. It's where, and it's obviously geared towards Marbach.
Yep.
But it's like anyone and anything who's from Marbach or that area. Okay, you do solar. I do real estate. Jared does cooking. Training.
Yeah.
Like the village, it's like it should be a one-stop shop for we're supporting each other.
Yeah.
And we talked about the other day. So we got a lot to talk about, man. I look forward to working with you on for the community things. I think we can make a big impact. Everybody in this room, and that's what it's all about: connecting people and making it better for the world, man. Yeah. So I want to thank you. So has anyone won the Tesla yet, or
No, so we extended it one more month. Just
Okay.
getting the summertime. Also, I do own an HVAC company as well, so if you need a new unit, let me know. You're supposed to be talking to me too.
you need a new AC unit?
Man, my AC unit is about 15 years old.
Oh, word!
This one came with a house.
I know a guy.
I know that too.
Yeah. So
See, loyalty.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know a guy. You need a water softener too, man.
I need
You
a
know-
water softener.
Man, we
water
need
softener?
to check it in.
That's all.
I mean, we could do that too.
There you
I
go.
can sell you.
You got the house, you got the water softener, you got the panels, you got the HVAC. Come on, we got it.
We
all.
just need. We'll have Elliot shoot the video. Like to sell the house.
She'll get you in shape for the picture.
Yeah.
He's all right. Wait a minute.
Bailey, you got any final words, man?
I was just thinking about right now how all the guests that we've had like a diverse group, people in all kinds of different fields. But one thing you've been talking about for the past couple weeks is just people who are introverted. It's refreshing to see a person like Eric, people like Corey. They don't. It's not about them. They're still successful, and it's not about money. It's just about being in a place where they're happy, and they can share their gift with the world. And then there's like you and Serta, very outgoing, also very successful. You know what I'm saying? So success has a lot of different faces, and I think a lot of people can probably take a lot from that, because I'm sure there's people out there that are just scared to take that leap of faith, or they just feel like they're not going to be good enough because their gift looks different than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So
it's good.
We all have a gift, man. We all have a gift. We all have a why. Your gift plus your why is a purpose. Now, Eric kind of messed with my theory on that. He said find your. Actually, no. I think you still match. Like you know what your gift is.
Yeah.
It's just not.
That was a good perspective, though. You know what I mean? That was a really good perspective.
Financially, just separating the finances in it.
Yeah, I like
not
that.
necessarily, your purpose, because that's still your purpose.
Yeah.
I'm just saying financially, like if it's a business-wise, I don't suggest, chasing something that you really love, because you don't want to lose that love. Easiest way to lose that love is finances.
Sure.
Easiest way.
Breaks up a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, money and greed,
They
but
get resentment.
But they say, money and greed, it's a balance, because like as much as we want to help people, it takes money to help people.
Yeah.
I've been able to do things now that I'm in real estate that I could have never done if I stayed a teacher and a coach.
Yeah.
Never. Not ever.
But did you love being a teacher and coach?
Absolutely. But what I found, so this is a good point I found, not to keep the show going, but it's like I found my love was the kids. It wasn't the teaching. It dang sure wasn't text history. It dang sure wasn't grading papers. It dang sure wasn't creating extra curriculum. The coaching, when I was on the field with the boys, the coaching came back into them and just changing their lives. Yeah. So like this is my still doing it.
Yeah.
Eric Thomas says sometimes different vehicles, it's time to get off a vehicle. Maybe I was riding a bus and I'm on a Ferrari. He says you can drive a boat in the sea, but you can't drive it on land. You can drive a car on land, you can't drive it on sea. Sometimes you got to get off vehicles to get to your next destination. Yeah. So check your vehicle. There you go. Check your vehicle. Sometimes the check engine light comes on, like mine when I went to. Don't. I've never run out of gas. Listen. I don't ever speak in absolute terms, but I will never run out of gas. No, you don't got to knock on wood. No. Listen, I promise you, I will be the first to admit if I ever run. I will never run out of gas, ever.
Hey, I'm glad.
Any final words for you?
No, thank you. That was some good stuff. Thank you for coming on and giving us a different perspective. Like I said, that was really cool the way that you. Because we're all taught, right? Chase your passion, chase your love, the money will come. Yeah. So just to kind of have that take on it, it's good. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, Eric, Alternative Solar, if you're looking to get into solar, holla at me, and then I could put you in contact with Eric.
Oh, yeah. Wow. The connector.
The connector.
Hashtag the connector.
The connector. The real estate coach, a.k.a. the connector. Man, I really appreciate you coming on. I know it was a heavy week for you, so I appreciate you coming on and being vulnerable. And we're gonna work together. Thank you for allowing us. Thank you for being our sponsor, allowing us to use the facilities. And we have a new sponsor, which we'll talk about later. So, I guess Elliot will tell me what to do with that later. But check that out. It means we're growing, so that's positive. But that should be it. Chalk Talk. Open Playbook of Life, episode 9 is in the books. Woo! And we'll see you next time.
At double digits next week.
What's up, guys? The real estate coach here, man. Just want to thank you guys for all the support. Chalk Talk, the Open Playbook of Life. Please like and subscribe on the YouTube. Don't forget to hit the notification button so you can get updated on when we drop episodes. And also, if you're trying to catch up on the latest episodes, just go ahead and click right here and you'll see that. So again, we appreciate all the support. Leave some comments, anything that we can do to get better and provide you some topics for the show that'll help you. We're all about it. So remember, your gift plus your why equals your purpose.